Hello, ma'am. Our team consists of 3 members. I, Ayushi Agarwal, with registration number 19BBS 0116. Soumya Rajnarayanan, with registration number 19BBS 0144. And P. Ravindran, with registration number 19BBS 0147. Our project name is Stockholm, an inventory management system. The objective of this project is to build a website that is easy to use and helps manage stock efficiently. We thought of making this project because currently all the inventory management websites or the apps are paid and they have a lot of functionalities that are not useful for a small shopkeeper or a businessman with multiple godowns, which makes those websites difficult to use and understand. Hence, our motto behind this project was to keep it as simple as possible and have only those functionalities which are actually required. For this, I, along with my team members, asked a few shopkeepers around, including our parents, about what functions are actually useful. So here is our website, which we were successfully able to build. In this project, we have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP language. This is the first page of our website, which explains the functionalities and why Stockholm is different from other inventory management websites. The main objective behind this page was to attract users to try the website and give them a short insight about it. So here is the navigation bar, which consists of login, sign up, services, about, and contact us link. So login will be used for logging into the website, sign up for signing up, and if we'll click on the services, we'll go to that section of this page where we explain why this Stockholm is better. So as we further scroll down, we have a create account option. As we click on it, we will be redirected to the sign up page. Then further, as we scroll down, here is the team members details. I, Ayushi Agarwal, I have done the designing and the front end part of the website. Ravindran, along with Soumya, has done the back end of the website. Here is the contact us form. The user can fill it if they want to reach us. So here we can enter the name. We can enter the email ID and then the phone number, and here we can type a message. As we click on the submit button, there is an alert box that comes saying that your question is submitted and we will get back to you soon. So below on the page, we have these 3 Twitter handle, Instagram handle, and Facebook handle. So basically we have placed this to make it look more user friendly and more attractive. So as we go back to the top, we have the login button and the sign up button. As we click on the login button, we will be redirected to the sign in page, the login page. And as we click on the sign up button, we will be asked to create an account. So let's create an account first. So as first we enter our name, then our email ID, then we have to enter a username, then we'll enter a password. We have to make sure the password and the confirmed password, they are the same. If they are not same, like here, they are not same, and we'll click on register, it shows an alert message saying the password doesn't match, please re-enter the password. As we click on OK, we will have to enter the password again. So this time we'll enter the same password. Now as we click on the register button now, it will redirect us to the login page. So here we can log in into our website using the same username and password that we have entered during the sign up. And this is the button through which you can see what password you have entered. So as we click on this button, the password is visible. As we click again on this button, the password is not visible. Remember me, if we click on this checkbox, it will help us for the further logins. It will help us to remember. Like it will automatically enter the password and the username again. So here we have the sign up link and the forgot your password link. So sign up will redirect us again to the sign up page. If you don't have an account, then you can go for the sign up. And this forgot your password will redirect us to the forgot your password page, where you can retrieve your password if you have forgotten your old password. So here we can enter our Gmail ID that we have entered during the sign up, and we can click on the reset button. It shows that the link has been successfully sent to your email ID. A link will be sent to the email ID through which you can retrieve your password. So now we can go back and log in. The password is correct, so we can log in into the website now. So after logging in into the website, the first page we'll see is the dashboard. So here on the dashboard we have, firstly we have the date. The current date is 4 November. We have the number of inventories. We have total product. We have low stock. Low stock basically means if the stock of a particular product goes below a particular number, then that product will be listed here. Like it will be 1, 2 or 3, the number of products that have low stock. So here is total inventory. So here is the option of purchase request. Like if the purchase manager, he thinks that they need to buy some product and there's a requirement of some product, then he can just enter that product name and product quantity. Then the administrator or the owner, he can check whether the product is actually required, then he can further proceed with the purchase. So this was all about the dashboard. Currently all the values are 0 because we haven't added any inventory. So now we'll go to the inventory page. So now we have reached on the inventory page. Here we'll click on add inventory. Now we have to enter the inventory name. Then we have to select a status, whether it's open or closed. Let's take open and we can click on save changes. Here it shows it is successfully added, so we can close it. Now we can see that SPH, the inventory name, and its status has been successfully added. Now we'll go on the options. So we can either edit this inventory or we can remove it. So let's first edit it. So if we click on edit, we can edit the name. And we can change the status from open to closed also. We can do either one. We'll click on save changes. It is successfully updated. We can close it. Now we can see the name and the status has been changed. So let's add a few more inventories. So we've added 3 inventories. So we'll check the search option. So here we can search the inventory. Like if I enter 259, so this inventory is visible. If I enter some random number like 82, there is no such record found. We can also search by plot. So it will show all the inventories with the plot name. Then we can check the delete option. So here we click on the remove. It asks, do you really want to remove? We'll click yes, save changes. So it is successfully removed. So here it shows like the number of entries you want to see on a page, like 10, 25, 50. Currently we have less entries, so they all are visible. Now this was all about the inventory page. Let's go to the category page. So a category is basically the types of product you have. Like there will be for a ply house, so there will be plywood, the mica, and there will be different types of mica there. So we can enter the categories. So let's click on add category. So we'll enter mica for instance, and then we'll check the status. It's available. Then we'll click on save changes. It is successfully added. We'll see mica and it's available is added into the category option. Then we can even edit it, similar to the inventory thing. We can edit it and we can enter action. And we can change the status also. For now we won't change it. We can click on save changes. It is successfully updated. We can also remove it. Like we'll click on remove and we want to yes, we want to remove it. So it's removed. So let's add 2 or 3 inventories, categories, sorry. So we have added 3. So let's check the search option. If I'll enter BO, it will show us. If I'll enter some random like Z, there is no such record found. So the search option is working. And then this was all about the category page. We'll go to the product option. Here we can add a product. So if we click on add product option, so here we can, and first we have to keep the image, the product name, the quantity, the inventory name, in which inventory or which godown it is kept, the category name in which this product is under which category, and then the status, whether it's available or not. So first let's browse some product image. So we have this image of ACP sheet. We'll just take it, and then the product name, it's ACP red. The quantity, we'll enter some quantity. The inventory name, we have added these 2 inventories, so we have these 2 options here. We can select either of one. In the category, we have added 3 categories, so we can select any one. The status, available. So if we click on save changes, the product, we can see that the product is successfully added. Here's the photograph, here's the product name, the quantity, the inventory, the category, and its status. So similarly, we can add few more products. This is the mica. We'll select the other inventory, and this time it's mica, so selected mica, available, save. So we can see even this is added. So we'll add one more product just for our reference, and this is mica dark. We'll enter some quantity. We'll select the inventory, we'll click on board, and the status is available. We'll select not available this time. We have added 3 products into our system. So let's perform other operations. So here we have the option for edit or remove. So if we click on the edit option, we can edit the product information. We can change the photograph if you want. Like, let's browse some other image this time. Let's take this image. We have changed the image. So here's the image. We can upload this image. It is successfully updated. We can also change the product info. We can add, it's this time brown. We can change the stock number. The same now mistakenly. So we can change the inventory if it is shifted from one godown to the other, and we can change the category name if we want, like ply, and we can change the status as well. So save changes. So now we can see that the photograph has been changed, it has been updated, the name has been updated, the quantity has been updated, the inventory and the category has also been updated. Now we'll try the remove option. So we'll click on remove, we'll click on save changes, and it has been successfully removed. So now we can go to the search option, and let's search by the name. If I'll write mica, both of them are visible. If I'll write dark, so only one is visible. And if I'll write something like tea, so no matching records found. So this was all about the product page. So now we'll go to the sales and purchase option. So in this option, we have one option of add purchase. We'll go to that option, and here the purchase manager, he can add his requirement, and the administrator can further check it. So here we have 3 options. First, we have to enter the order date. By when does he need the order? So let's enter 5 November, and the product name, he needs mica sheets, and let's enter some quantity. Some quantity. And as now we can click on the save changes. We can so it has been added, and this will be visible on the dashboard too. Let's check the reset option. As we click on the reset, the data will be removed. So the reset option is also working. So this was all about this page. Now here we have the user, which has further three options: settings, add user, and logout. So first let's go to settings. So here in the settings option, we can change the username and the password. So first let's try changing the username. So our current username is IU007. Let's change it to IU0107 and we'll click on save changes. It has been successfully updated. Then we can change our password, our current password. We can enter a new password. We click on save changes. Our current password is incorrect. Now we can see it has been successfully updated. Now let's check the add user option. So this is currently like if we have a team of people which are working. So the administrator has the access to this function. He can add more users like product manager, sales manager, inventory manager and all who can access this website. So here we have the option of add user. So let's add some user. Let's add Ravi. We have to enter a username. Let's add Ravi007. Password and email ID. So as we click on save changes, it has been successfully added. So there are further options of edit and remove. So either we can edit the username and the password. So let's try editing it. We need to enter the password. It has been successfully updated. Then we can also remove the user. The user has been removed. We can search the user. If I add RA, there is no record found. So this was about the username. So the last option we have is the logout option. We will click on the logout and we will be successfully logged out and redirected to the sign in page again. So the coding part of the website is this. So as it has many web pages, so the number of codes written were more. So we have all these codes that were written. This is the code of the main page. Similarly, there are the codes for the other pages, the forgot password, and then we have the code for the main page, the logout page, then for the user page. Here is the database. This is the database that we have used for the entire website. So we have used MySQL for databases. So these were the 4 databases that were created. The first one is brand, which is for inventory, and then the categories, then product, and for the users. So first we'll go to the inventory one, and in this we have 3 things: inventory ID, inventory name, and inventory status. So these were the 3 things that we added during the website. Then this is the structure of the table. The primary key is inventory ID, then inventory name and the inventory status. And then we have category. In category we added these 3 things: mica, action, board and ply. Then it is category ID, name, its status and its active. So this is the structure of the table. Here category ID is the primary key. Then we have the product table, and these were the 3 products that we added, and these are the images, the inventory ID connected with them, the category ID connected with them, the quantity of those products, its active status. Here the product ID is the primary key. The next table is users. In users table, we added this was the primary user, the admin user, IU0107, and the Ravi0107 was added. So here the password is written in this format just to make sure the password is secured. And this is the structure of the table: user ID, username, password and email. Here user ID is the primary key. So this was the database of the website. So this was all about the website Stockholm, the inventory management system created by me, Ayushi Agarwal, Soumya Rajnarayanan and P. Ravindran. Thank you so much.